Hi everyone. In the given problem statement of insert interval, we are given an array of non-overlapping intervals where interval of I start and end represent the start and end of the ith intervals, and intervals are sorted in ascending order by start. You are also given an interval new interval which also contains start and end that represent the start and end of another interval. So if I look into the problem statement, this problem statement is exactly the same as it was the last problem. Only thing is that here we have to we are going to give another interval. We have to merge that interval into our current set of intervals and then have to form the newer interval by joining those. So let us take this example. We are having an interval 1, 3, and after adding 2 and 5 to our current interval, we are going to sort it out. So after sorting, right, the value would be 2 comma 5 and then 6 comma 9. So if I take this example, the 1 would be the starting point and the 2 is smaller than the 3, right? So our current value would be 1 and 5. And because 6 and 9 are not overlapping with any interval, so the resultant output would be 6 and 9. So it would be the two conditions you have to check. After insertion, you have to just sort the values. Let us take another example, which is containing 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, and 16. These values are already sorted. Now if I add the value 4 and 8, right, it is going to come at this place. So it would be 4 and 8 at this place. Now if I join this, so 1 and 2 right are not overlapping with any values. It is going to be the same. Now 3, right, and 5, this is smaller, like 4 is smaller than 5, so 3 would be the starting point, and this we can take it up. But again, 6 is smaller than 8, so 6, this is forming an interval if you're able to look into it. Then 7 is also smaller than 8. Okay, so it formed the interval. Then the 10, right? So 10 is the greater value, so it would be 3 and 10 at last. And then we are going to have 12 and 16. So all these values, right? 4 was smaller than 5, 6 is smaller than 8, 7 is smaller than 8. So it is forming an interval. So based on that, right, we are creating that interval. Now let us jump to the Python solution, and our Python solution is almost going to remain the same. Only thing is that we are just going to append this new interval value into our current interval array or a list and then sort it out. So let's jump there. So the first thing that we're going to do, right, we are going to append our new interval to our current intervals. So intervals dot append new interval. Now we are going to sort our intervals equal to sorted intervals key equal to lambda of x, and the key would be the first value. So based on the first, right, in the nested list, right, based on the first value inside our nested list, we're going to sort it out, and we're going to have our resultant list and our I pointer initializing to 0, while our I less than length of intervals. We're going to have our start interval, which is intervals of I, while I plus 1 less than length of intervals, and intervals of I plus 1 0, which is less than equal to start of 1, if start 1 less than intervals of I plus 1, start 1 equal to intervals of I plus 1 and 1, I plus equal to 1. If I plus 1, again you're checking for the bounding conditions, so length of intervals and intervals of I plus 1 of 0 less than start of 1, res dot append start of 0 and intervals of I plus 1 of 1. Once that is done right, we are going to increment our I pointer by plus equal to I plus equal to 1. Else, we are just going to append the value. Res dot append start of 0 and start of 1. I plus equal to 1. And at last, we are going to return result. Only one mistake I have done right. I have added this loop right inside, which is not the correct one. Yes. Now let me run for the public test cases. As you could see, the public test cases passed. Let me submit the code. As you could, the submission got successfully submitted and it is beating 100% of the submission, which is not correct because it cannot submit in 0 millisecond. But anyway, this is not pretty accurate, as I keep on saying. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.